Tonight, new video showing the mother in the middle of the maelstrom of her own daughter's mysterious disappearance, now under arrest.
It started as an ordinary family road trip. In early October 2025, 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard and her mother Ashley left their home in Lompoc, California for what was supposed to be a short vacation. But when Ashley returned without her daughter, a nightmare was just beginning. 2 months later, on a snowy day in Utah, a horrific discovery would reveal the fate of Melodee and change a community forever. This is the tragic story of Melodee Buzzard. Melodee was only 9 years old. She was a sweet, charismatic child who loved to draw and play with her friends. In a town like Lompoc, everyone knew her gentle smile. Tragically, her father had died in a motorcycle crash when she was just 6 months old. Her paternal grandmother, Lily, doted on the girl, often holding a photo of baby Melodee and whispering, "I love you, baby girl." Friends say Melodee always had blonde curls bouncing as she skipped home from school. Her community adored her. On October 7, 2025, Ashley and Melodee packed their bags and set off in a rented white car. Surveillance cameras captured them as they left Lompoc, both wearing wigs. It appeared they were trying to disguise themselves, Melodee in a dark wig and hoodie, Ashley in a long curly wig. It was an unusual sight in a quiet neighborhood, the little girl clutching her travel bag while her mother scanned the road ahead. At that point, no one knew what fate held for them. Over the next few days, Ashley drove the pair as far east as Nebraska. They passed through Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Wyoming, and reached Nebraska by October 10th. Then they headed back west through Kansas, across Colorado, into Utah again, and finally returned toward California. It was a strange, zigzagging route. At various gas stations, Ashley routinely backed into the pumps and swapped the car's license plates, all to avoid being identified. Investigators say it was as if she did not want anyone to catch sight of her or her daughter. The trail went cold on October 9th. Video captured Melodee and Ashley at a highway rest stop on the Colorado-Utah border, the last time anyone would see Melodee alive. Shortly afterward, Ashley returned to California, driving alone. Her daughter was nowhere to be found. On October 14th, a school administrator noticed Melodee had not shown up for classes and reported her prolonged absence. Deputies rushed to the Buzzard home. Inside, they found no sign of the little girl, and Ashley Buzzard could offer no verifiable explanation for where her daughter was. From that moment, the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office pursued the case relentlessly. Detectives searched the Mars Avenue house on October 15th and confirmed Melodee was gone. They interviewed Ashley repeatedly, but she remained largely silent about her daughter's whereabouts. The FBI and other agencies joined in the effort. Search and rescue teams scoured highways, parking areas, and even nearby canyons with dogs and drones. But for weeks, nothing turned up. Flyers with Melodee's photo went up in stores and on street corners as the community held its breath, hoping the little girl would be found. Investigators began scrutinizing every detail of the road trip. In the first week of October, they discovered Ashley had rented a 2024 white Chevrolet Malibu for the journey. Security footage from the rental office confirmed the wigs, Melodee in a dark wig and hoodie, Ashley in her disguise. In the house search, detectives found a live bullet and a spent shell casing. Those finds were sent off for forensic analysis, entered into the ATF's National Ballistics Information Network. Already, questions were piling up and answers were nowhere in sight. By October 24th, deputies released a detailed travel timeline. The car had indeed covered many states in those days. Investigators noted that Ashley had gone to great lengths to avoid cameras by switching plates. By that time, law enforcement believed the worst. They suspected Melodee had been killed shortly after the October 9th stop in Utah. But without a body or confession, it was still only a grim hunch. As the investigation dragged on, Melodee's loved ones refused to give up hope. Candlelight vigils were held under homemade signs reading, "Where is Melodee?" Dozens gathered outside the family home on Mars Avenue, clutching candles as they prayed into the night. Her Aunt Bridget, voice shaking, told reporters, "We just can't stop thinking about this. We love you, Melodee." Grandmother Lily held a framed photo of baby Melodee and whispered, "We love you, baby girl. Call me and I will come and pick you up." In early November, a strange twist occurred. Ashley Buzzard was briefly arrested on an unrelated false imprisonment charge after a man said she wouldn't let him leave her home. The sheriff's office was quick to note this had nothing to do with Melodee's case. A judge later dismissed the charge. The unusual arrest left people puzzled, but detectives emphasized they remained focused on the disappearance. Ashley's cooperation was still minimal as investigators kept digging for evidence. On October 30th, investigators served additional warrants on a storage unit and on the rental car itself. In the car, officers found another live round of ammunition. The evidence was mounting. Analysts sent the recovered shell casing to the ATF's ballistics database. Still, as November turned into December, Melodee remained missing and fear grew. Then came a devastating turn. On December 6, 2025, two tourists in a snowy Utah canyon spotted something among the rocks, the frozen body of a little girl at the side of the road. The Wayne County Sheriff's Office was called to the scene. It was a lonely spot, hundreds of miles from California, with nothing but wind among the rocks. The girl's tiny body was badly decomposed, partly covered in snow. Utah authorities carefully documented everything. They could see the child had been shot to death. Multiple bullets had struck her head. On December 8th, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office notified Santa Barbara detectives about the unidentified victim. Back in California, investigators held their breath as they waited for forensic lab reports. Finally, on December 17th, ballistics experts announced a match. The shell casing found by the roadside in Utah was identical to one found in Ashley's home. That same evening, agents at the ATF Crime Lab confirmed the finding to Santa Barbara. By December 22nd, the FBI Crime Lab had also returned results. The body was Melodee. With the ballistic and DNA evidence lining up, detectives knew it was time to act. At a press conference the next morning, Sheriff Bill Brown announced the terrible news. Melodee's remains had been found in Utah, and she had been killed. He said the evidence clearly indicated that Melodee's own mother was responsible. Sheriff Brown described the crime as cold-blooded and criminally sophisticated, and calculated, deliberate, and ruthless. Choking back emotion, he offered condolences and said, "We hoped against hope that she would be found alive. This outcome is devastating." The press conference ended in stunned silence, some reporters and onlookers wiping tears. On the morning of December 23rd, law enforcement confirmed the arrest. SWAT teams, FBI agents, and sheriff's deputies had surrounded Ashley Buzzard's Lompoc home overnight. Neighbors said it was a tense early morning operation. Deputies pried open the locked front door and led 40-year-old Ashley Buzzard into handcuffs. By midday, the word was out. Ashley Buzzard had been arrested on suspicion of murder. She was booked into the county jail on a charge of first-degree murder with no bail. The community could barely believe it. The very woman who had publicly pleaded for her missing daughter's safe return was now behind bars. The news went national. Networks and newspapers across the country ran Melodee's photo as the top story. On social media, people expressed shock and sympathy. The hashtag Justice for Melodee began trending as strangers shared messages of grief and support. Prosecutors quickly filed formal charges. The criminal complaint alleged that Ashley Buzzard had shot Melodee in the head during the trip. It included two special allegations: that Ashley personally used a firearm and that she lay in wait before attacking. In other words, authorities accused her of hunting down her own daughter in a planned ambush.
Investigators stood by their evidence. The ballistic matches and DNA analysis made the connection clear. Still, no motive was ever released. On December 26th, Ashley made her first court appearance. The judge read the charges: first-degree murder, a weapons enhancement, and lying in wait, then asked for her plea. Ashley quietly answered, "Not guilty." The single word seemed to startle everyone. Some onlookers gasped, and others covered their faces. After the hearing, the district attorney's office reminded the public that a plea is not an admission of guilt. Ashley remains presumed innocent under the law. She was ordered held without bail, and her next hearing is set for early January 2026. Looking ahead, the wheels of justice will grind on. Prosecutors say they will present the ballistic evidence, the DNA reports, surveillance video, and any witness testimony they